0809440981. You can tweet at smooth981, and of course we're streaming live on YouTube. It's smooth981. That's the channel on YouTube, and yes, don't forget to subscribe while you're on there. Hello, camera. Hi.
Hello.
I must say hi.
Hi.
All right. So while we're also there, let's not forget to say a prayer for Tijani Babangida. His wife is still in the ICU. He lost his son apparently. We didn't hear that. So uh, he was. They had a courtesy visit yesterday. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? So please just still keep him in your prayers. All right. On that note, Omatseye, can we run through the headlines? Before we run through the headlines, I forgot to make an important announcement, and two of you forgot to even remind me. The ladies in sports conference. But first of all, let's take the headlines.
On the bill this morning, Tobi Amusan becomes world's fastest woman with new track record as Djokovic felt different in shock loss after bottle incident, and then Pacers demolished Knicks to level playoff series. There would be Arsenal's Havertz to become biggest sports fan in hope of the title twist, and then Ineos will push Man United women onto elite status, says boss Skinner, as Atlanta close in on Champions League. Bologna and Juve qualify as Spurs to be tested against Man City, says Postecoglou. And Mbappe bids farewell to PSG fans with defeat in final home game. Finally,
Which kind of present will you give someone? Sat down in front of, put ring lights, sat down in front of full camera, said they are leaving, then went to lose 3-1. A whole prince. If you want to live, if you want to live as the royalty you allegedly are, you give them one win and then go. The guy has already left the city. He's just his body that is playing the football. He's left the city. All right. So let me start with that big announcement today, because you'll be seeing it across everywhere. The 2024 Ladies in Sports Conference will be taking place from the 5th to the 7th of June. Yes. This year, we've expanded the event to 3 days. And we are going to cover everything this year and every industry, because it so happens that for the sports industry to function well as the business it has been, made in Nigeria, it has to work in tandem with education, it has to work in tandem with the corporate sector, it has to work in tandem with the health sector. So we have people from across all industries coming to the Ladies in Sports Conference this year, including the entertainment industry. So we'll be giving you more information about the Ladies in Sports Conference. The theme this year is expanding the business of women's sports. I like the way I'm smiling, because once I say business, I like it. All right, so mark your calendars. 5th to the 7th of this year, there'd be the fitness and health event. There'd be the football clinic with two of our football superstars, Desire Paranozi, right now retired, and the African goalkeeper of the year, Chiamaka Nadozie. So keep that in mind. And then the conference will be on the main day on the 7th. So all 3 days packed full with events. Don't forget, mark your calendars. This program is proudly supported by Smooth 98.1 FM.
Are we staging this edition in Abuja?
No, this one is still in Lagos. Yeah, you get first touch. It's not Meghan Markle and Harry. All right, on that note.
All right. Speaking about girl power, Nigerian sprint icon Tobi Amusan has become the world's fastest woman in the women's 100-meter hurdles after running a world-leading 12.40 seconds.
My gender is just doing great things. I'm getting ready for the Olympics. So first of all, we broke that 16-year jinx for the football team to qualify for the Olympics. And now Tobi Amusan is the fastest woman this year. Oh, we are ready. The things want to do in my gender. We are ready for you, Omatseye. You
I know it was bounced back off me. It was bounced off me.
You must clap for us.
Okay.
All right. So, in preparation, she came first. The world champion actually came second. So Tobi Amusan is blitzing everybody right now, and it's the way she's picking at the right moment. So, fingers crossed for that, our Olympic medal that we are all waiting to receive. But yes, great one for Nigerian team so far. And I like all the news that's coming in. Also, a few days ago we heard about Favor Philly's time. So good times coming from the women. Hopefully we medal across many disciplines this year at the Olympics. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
And I want just want to say, people, when Alicia Keys was warning that this girl was on fire, she had Tobi Amusan in mind, but we didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But now we know she was the
She's
one.
the one.
All right, drifting on out to some tennis news this morning, where we find well, this man, the last time I saw him, he had a helmet on and was probably signing autograph. But it says now, Novak Djokovic says he felt hampered by the after effects of being hit on the head by a bottle as he fell to a shock Italian Open defeat by Alejandro Tabilo.
Arant. You know the word. That's a Nigerian guy. Look, let me explain to you in case people missed it. This bottle incident happened, and it was, I don't know how to say it in Yoruba. The bottle was one. It wasn't like a bale of bottles.
Yeah.
So imagine a bottle fall on your head. Now, of course, it's painful, and it's out of nowhere. You are in shock. So I understand that incident. And everybody was worried about him at the time. But then he now tweeted that, oh, he's in bed, he's fine, nothing is wrong with him. So Okon bottle, one bottle. How do you pronounce? Okon bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One bottle fell on his head. 2 days ago, the next day he now came for training. That's when he wore the helmet. Like, I came prepared. He was not even mocking the incident. I came prepared. Then you lose on the third day after the bottle incident. The man beat him straight sets, senselessly. He now said that it must be the after effect of the bottle that bottle that fell 2 days ago on his head, that it made him to lose his balance. So his rhythm was off. He said he's not feeling any pain, he's not feeling anything, but his balance and his rhythm was off. So the bottle fell on your head. That one bottle fell on your head, and it shifted your brain. that your balance and everything was not there. Meanwhile, the biggest problem, if you were watching Novak Djokovic on the day, it was his legs. For the first time, I haven't seen Novak Djokovic not move his legs. And it started from everything, from his serves, because you use your legs to launch. It started from lifting himself, elevating from himself from the ground in time to hit the serve. Then the movement around the court, he was just always a pace behind. He said it's the bottle that fell on his head 2 days ago that caused his...
there's a sensory delivery of the message. That's what the sensory neurons...
I will throw another bottle at the head. So that the brain will shift back. He shouldn't try me this morning. Just give Tabilo his flowers.
Give him his flowers.
You know what? When that loss happened, I told my sister, I said, I want to go and hear what he'll say in the press conference, because every time he loses, he'll say, I was struggling with my wrist a few days before, but I'm not complaining because, we all have struggles. He always comes up with something. So I was waiting to hear what he'll come up with. When I heard bottle, I was just mad. Djokovic, please don't try me again in this Lagos. Don't try me. All right, so that's the drama on the men's draw.
Yes.
A bottle causing Novak Djokovic to lose. In the women's draw, the top seeds are still flying as usual. Arina Sabalenka through to the quarterfinals. Iga Swiatek through to the quarterfinals.
Naomi's still there.
Coco Gauff through to the quarterfinals. And Naomi Osaka, that girl is on fire.
You said it when she picked. You said it in the locker room.
I said when she picks. Look, the WTA will lose it because she's reminding me of that Naomi Osaka of before. It's the rhythm between she's hitting the ball, is the movement on the court, and is the determination on her face. So it's not the results that is making me say she's back. It's the performance that's making me say she's back, and it's beautiful to see. And if she gets to that sweet spot just in time for hard court, WTA back to the wild harvest. But yeah, they are all and at least the guy is in action today. So let's see how they go far on the women's show.
I hear they even want to call her Cleomi right now, but it's Clay really her surface.
Clay is her worst surface. So the fact that she's doing well here shows that she is really rejuvenated, because you remember she said when she came back, I didn't like the older Osaka. I felt like and it's a long story, but I didn't like that older Osaka. But this new Osaka has come with a better psychology. I love her.
Well, let's see. One of the reasons why we are awake this late today was this part of the thing we're talking about right now. The Indiana Pacers demolished the injury hit New York Knicks 121-89 to level their Eastern Conference playoff semifinals series to 2-2.
Yes, all right. So the NBA playoffs is heating up. These are semifinals, and New York Knicks played the first two games in New York, and they decimated the Pacers. People were now saying, Tyrese Halliburton, you that they're taking to the Olympics and they're dropping Kyrie Irving. You can't even do anything. Even me, I was one of those people. Because he's a great basketball player. He's not yet the leader people tout him to be. Oh, face of the league. And I'm like, yeah, he's a pretty face. And yeah, he can score some points, but he doesn't know how to score some clutch points. And then the next two games move to Indiana, where the Pacers are, and they have won the two games. In fact, last night's game, it wasn't just that they won it; it was that I kid you not, they took a hammer to New York Knicks and destroyed them, like they bludgeoned them all through the game. There was no recovery, and you have to remember that New York Knicks are not just were not just being wounded on the court; they were physically destroyed because Anunoby is injured. He's out. Already, their star player was already out from the start of the tournament. And then Jalen Brunson is struggling with an injury. He's the last vestige of hope for the New York Knicks. So to have those physical injuries and then to get absolutely destroyed on the court was one thing. But also, that was not the game that kept me up, actually. It was the Denver Nuggets against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All the NBA analysts come outside and collect your strokes of cane, because I remember the first two games were in Denver. And remember, they lost the two games, and I was telling you that they lost the home advantage. They were outplayed, outmuscled, outfought on their home court. I did not know how they were going to redeem themselves. The next two games were in Minnesota. They've won those two games. and they also outplayed, outfought, and outmuscled Minnesota Timberwolves. So it was do me, I do you. And now the series is even at 2-2. But all the analysts in the NBA, they're like, oh, the Denver Nuggets are going to get swept. Oh, the Denver Nuggets have no answer. I'm waiting to see them eat their words this morning. That's what I'm waiting to see. So it's 2-2 in that series, and it's 2-2 in the New York Pacers series.
All right, still to come, we've got Arsenal's efforts to become biggest sports fan in the hope of a title twist. But then we expect to read your messages after now on 0809 444 0981 will be where we read the messages. Then you can also catch the live stream on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos.
When we come back, we read the messages. Oh, God. I forgot that when I start talking sports, I wake up.
I'm surprised that you are still sitting now.
No. That one this one is old age. I cannot stand. On the lack of sleep I've had. I didn't sleep on Saturday. Remember, I didn't sleep on Saturday into Sunday. Then I didn't sleep Sunday into Monday.
Oh boy.
My body is on US time. I'm going to have to try.
So you want messages first?
When we come back,
YouTube, right?
Yeah, we'll come back with the YouTube messages, and then we're going to
WhatsApp.
Naomi Osaka. Actually, I'm loving her. So the first time, don't mind this stupid girl. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
After now, it's a short one.
Okay, let's be back.
We're Smooth 98.1 FM. We're back and still the locker room, and Tega still here taking us through the stories this morning, but piles of messages waiting. So Tega, let's go over and see.
Yeah, let's start with the YouTube messages and then we'll go to WhatsApp.
All right, messages from YouTube. Well, Kunle Windapo, as Carter was saying, is Tega sleeping? That's what she's asking. But she's awake now. Now comes Padro Pio saying, Chelsea deciding to give fans a heart attack before doing the Lord's work. Arsenal pushing the title race a bit more. Tottenham has usual been inconsistent. What a weekend. And then Abiodun of Bishopson says, Tega, we are counting down to the epic showdown between Usyk and Fury. My smart coin is on the Uranian. And goes on, Arsenal should just forget this EPL. title. City will be at Tottenham, and Cruise against West Ham at home. That's what we can find there. But let's race down to the WhatsApp platform and see.
Okay, let's just take one
Or
message.
two.
One.
Okay, so Emeka Onelum says, well, Arsenal yesterday played like people that ate 10 wraps of fufu before entering the pitch. Thomas Partey and Bukayo are particularly guilty. Anyway, we are all Tottenham fans tomorrow. Whatever the result be at the end of the season, Arsenal should be proud of themselves. Lastly, our prayers for Tijani Babangida and his family.
Yeah.
Tayo,
We'll come back to Tayo after that. But first of all, there's no pride is not a trophy. We want to see trophy. Proud of themselves, call. Win the trophy. All right.
That links us back to Arsenal, as an Arsenal forward Kai Havertz said he will become the biggest fan of the North London rivals Tottenham when they host Manchester City on Tuesday, as the Gunners hope for a twist in the Premier League title race.
All right. Unfortunately, the Spurs will need more than an extra supporter in order for them to do the job against Manchester City. But let's focus on the match of yesterday. I agree with what Emeka said, and I was telling people it's a psychological thing. You know, Manchester United have done some real damage to Arsenal over the years. Think about it. They hadn't won at Old Trafford since 2020. When last was Manchester United the great Manchester United? So even with Arsenal flying so high in the Premier League, and playing brilliant football and being in a much better form than Manchester United, they were still playing that way because they had that psychology of Manchester United has dealt with us. I mean, I was trying to explain to somebody yesterday, and all they were thinking, because Nigerians are so result oriented, they're waiting for the result to say I told you so, and I was like, the results of no consequence. Look at the performance. Arsenal could have completely destroyed that Manchester United. There was nothing about that Manchester United side that should have been able to compete with Arsenal. But Arsenal had that mental block that, this team has showed us, you know.
A man that has been beaten by
exactly.
a snake before, if he sees that worm.
If you see, exactly, he start crying before the Eto even passes by him. And that's what happened to Arsenal yesterday. Because I thought Arsenal could have absolutely... But that psychology of this is Manchester United is why they kept playing like with the handbrakes on. Because you look at this Manchester United side, remember them against Crystal Palace, how Crystal Palace ripped them apart. And then you look at how Arsenal came tentatively, questioning themselves, second guessing themselves, being nervous, you know, Partey losing the ball in wrong places, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice. I'm just like, Declan Rice, you just came yesterday, you two have caught the psychology. But it's a thing. There's a mental side to it, and so yes, Arsenal won the game yesterday. Like I said, first time in 2020, they won the game. They did the job. They're able to push the Premier League to the next level. But you could just see the mental strain. Why are you struggling against struggling Manchester United? The most lethal form of this Manchester United team couldn't have damaged them, but they just saw Manchester United. They didn't see the poor form of Manchester United. And yes, some people will say, it's better to be cautious and win than to be brave and lose. They won't have lost if they were brave. Last, 4-0. And they just pile up, just build that your goal advantage over Manchester City. Because let me tell you, that match tomorrow, Tottenham Hotspur, Express. We'll talk about that match because the story is coming up. We'll talk about it later, but let's go to the next story.
Let's see what Manchester United women can be one of the elite teams in the game with the backing of the club's new owners. Ineos manager Max Skinner said after they won their first FA Cup on Sunday.
Yes, they destroyed Tottenham Hotspur 4-0, and won the FA Cup. And so the Ineos manager was like, since the men don't look like winning any trophy anytime soon, let's just celebrate this women's trophy. Let's put our investment here. I like that man. It's very brilliant. There's smart money coming back. So the Manchester United women won their own trophy, won their own FA Cup title. And so I like it that it was the management of Ineos themselves saying, we are going to put money, not the team manager coming out to say the management has promised to give us money, so now we can hold this to the people that are bringing the money. But they have decided that, you know what, we're going to invest in women's football. We're going to put more money in this side, increase maybe everything, including hopefully facilities. Because did you see those pictures of Old Trafford? Some of the properties had started breaking down. Remember the decay that players have been talking about, that Manchester United is living on past glory. Somebody took a video, some wicked person, to show really the decay that has come under this administration of ownership in Manchester United. Was just showing it. And so they're saying on the women's side they're going to put some money. Hopefully they return the men's side to glory days. But our concern is women's side. They won their FA Cup. If the men want money, they too should win the FA
Prove
Cup.
it.
Prove it. Yes.
Let's race down to the other side now, where in Italy, Atalanta took a big step towards Champions League football on Sunday at beating Serie A top five rivals Roma 2-1, a win which also guaranteed spots for Bologna and Juventus.
Let me just say now, if Roma does not make that UEFA Champions League, I will come here and for 3 minutes I will laugh like a hyena. That's all I'm telling you. Because they fired Jose Mourinho for this same reason. You mean you fired him? They didn't just fire him. He brought their first European trophy. They did not just fire him. They now started making back comments like, now we are playing brilliant football. Now our football is pretty. What is brilliant football without results? You fired him because, in your opinion, he didn't take you to Champions League. If you now do not make that Champions League, do not make final of Europa, because they've already been knocked out by Bayern Leverkusen, yeah, I will come here. I will laugh like a horse. Hey, people don't know me. Because Italy now has 5 spots for the Champions League. 5. All right? Yeah. And the top 4 spots have been taken by Inter Milan, who won the league, AC Milan second, Bologna, and Juventus. Juventus drew yesterday to be able to take that final spot. Even if Roma wins their last 2 matches, they'll come on 66 points. Juventus already on 67 points. So those top 4 spots are gone. The only spot that is now left is this 5th spot, which is being occupied currently by Atalanta. And yesterday, they beat Roma to collect 63 points. So the only person mathematically that Roma can catch up with is Atalanta. So if Atalanta messes up, then Roma goes to. But if Atalanta doesn't mess up, and Roma does not get that Champions League spot,
you return here and do the
this will be a comedy show. I will do an animal laughter. Whether it's horse, whether it's hyena, whether it's donkey, but some animal will be laughing in the studio. Because you cannot have fired Jose Mourinho and still not fulfill. What is the purpose?
All right, let's go over to sports now. Tottenham Hotspur face a big test on Tuesday against Manchester City as the North London club look to secure a top 4 finish in the Premier League with 2 games remaining. Manager Ange Postecoglou said after their 2-1 home victory against Burnley.
All right, so you can tell that they're behind Aston Villa. Aston Villa play Liverpool today, and that will be the game that will be ahead of Tottenham. But right now, Aston Villa sitting a little too comfortably ahead of Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Tottenham Hotspur has something to fight for, and maybe this is why Arsenal fans will, for the first time, support their bitter rivals, because Tottenham face Manchester City on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And every Arsenal fan and their grandmother, every Arsenal fan and their native doctor will be supporting Tottenham Hotspur to try and do the business against Manchester City. Unfortunately for Arsenal fans, and even Tottenham fans that want to go to UEFA Champions League, Tottenham Hotspur have been in horrible form, and Manchester City have been in brilliant form. In fact, if there's anybody that knows how to finish a race well, I've told you, if Manchester City needs to win 21 races to win the trophy at the end of the season, Manchester City would win those 21 races. They just know how to do the business. And they've been scoring a plethora of goals. Tottenham on the other hand, have been conceding a plethora of goals, including 3 from this Arsenal that is now supporting them. So it's going to be a tough task. Now, this weekend was a little different for Tottenham. They were playing against Burnley. Burnley was already half leg in the grave. They're already halfway to being relegated. Yeah. It's not the team that you used to measure your form. And so that win, I can't consider it a brilliant return of form because it was against Burnley. They are playing against Manchester City. Now, Manchester City this weekend, different goal scorers. In fact, Alvarez came from the bench to score goal just for good measure. So you're looking at a team that knows how to break down defenses are already tough. And you're talking about a Tottenham Hotspur that like to play the high line, that their defense is already vulnerable to many people. So it's going to be, I don't see how Tottenham Hotspur survives Manchester City tomorrow. And they're not even a team that knows how to park the bus. So you can say, oh, that they're going to restrain Manchester City from scoring a goal, and then maybe it will be a draw. Then Arsenal can go on to win the league. So dear Arsenal, save your prayer points for your Christmas wish. Leave Premier League for Manchester City.
Nobody is to play this beautiful football and they not leave the trophy.
They'll be all right. Why did they lose against Aston Villa? Look, that loss against Aston Villa is the one I can't forgive them for, because they saw it coming. Liverpool had lost earlier in the day. You were now playing against an Aston Villa side that was vying for European sport, that was with the manager that you fired. So exactly, double motivation.
Right.
You now lost to Aston Villa. If there's anything that showed Arsenal mental strength, it was that day. That one is unforgivable. If you wanted to win the trophy, you should have beaten Aston Villa. Nothing else. You're waiting for somebody, you're waiting for your enemy to die, so you inherit his shoe. What if he died? The shoe is bigger than your leg.
You must do your push-ups
You
yourself.
must do your push-ups yourself. Yeah. So, Aiwa.
Oh, wow. All right. Kylian Mbappe scored on his final home appearance as a PSG player on Sunday, but the French champion suffered a surprise 3-1 defeat against Toulouse on the night they picked up the League or Championship trophy.
Yeah, so end of the road for Kylian Mbappe. At this point in time, he's not even going to be going apart from except he's going to Arsenal.
Not Real Madrid.
If he's going to Real Madrid, which we already assume that he's going to Real Madrid because we think that deal is done, then he's going cap in hand. He's not going like the prince. He's going like the person that is begging them to help his condition and give him a trophy apart from the legal trophy. So at this point in time, he's not the one. I would say he's not the one with the bargaining power because of this last season that he spent at PSG. So yeah, sad one. Was an anticlimax the way you did a video to announce, then you lost 3-1.
Oh, that's not a great farewell.
That's not a great. I say he's going cap in hand. All right. On that note, let's read all your messages that are coming through.
Let's go to Tayo's message first, and he says, prayers and thoughts to Babangida's family. That's the player now, Tijani Babangida. Get that straight now.
Yeah.
I too would feel different if I were struck with a bottle, but what kind of agbero behavior are people doing on the court these days? That's what they were asking.
No. The bottle fell out of somebody's knapsack.
Okay.
So it was an accident. Over to get it fell out of the person on top of his head. It's not like.
And it goes Tega. It's bottle can. That's how he puts it, just to get that out.
We don't know how to pronounce this. Zibby, do you know how to speak Yoruba? Everybody in this studio have failed.
Oh wow, what's the word?
We're trying to say one in Yoruba. One. I know the song. One okan.
Oh, okay.
Two meji. 3 meter. I tried now, but I don't know how to pronounce the word without singing it.
I learned it from one of these math textbooks in secondary school.
Yeah.
What did you say? It was what? Okan Eji Eta.
Okay. Zibby says Okan. I say it's Okan. This one says.
Wait, what did Abba say?
I would, if I was going to throw in my.
Omatseye is Okan.
No. That's what Tayo sent in. And if I was going to if I was going to do a translation from Mishekiri to Yoruba, it becomes Okan. But it's almost, so you see it. So let's just move on.
Please read the message. We don't know how to speak Yoruba in this studio.
Catch me if you can, says Tobi Amusan. But then let's pick up some more messages. Others are here waiting. Ian says, at least a bottle actually hit his head. Still better than our senators who pass government officials who usually start using crushes as soon as they receive someone to come explain themselves. That's how Ian will put it there. Emeka says, Tega will be disappointed that Arsenal rubbished Man United. Emeka says,
Arsenal did not rubbish Manchester United. Arsenal survived Manchester United. Yesterday's match was titled Surviving Old Trafford.
Then comes Zikolo. Zikolo says, Tega, no, you are not a fan of Arsenal, but this is too much. Oh. How can you say results don't matter? Arsenal needed to be tactical to win such a match, considering history.
I knew that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see AY from Oniru telling us the 1 point deficit syndrome is 99% likely to repeat itself again. Liverpool suffered it last season, and Arsenal just might experience that exact same suffering again. As for the Tottenham, they will be plastered mercilessly tomorrow. City will finish the job in the opening 30 minutes from kickoff. And then this one from Bolua Tife Olorun Shola says, Zibby, please stop. You're speaking Yoruba like Mandarin. Nice job, guys.
All right, we have some messages we can go through. Want to thank you for sending your messages through to WhatsApp. Want to thank you for sending your messages through to YouTube and for streaming live. Please do not forget to subscribe. And thank you for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to The Locker Room. On that note, Zibby, go and learn how to pronounce number.
Someone said, Omas, your pronunciation is...
Wow! Omas is actually correct.
It's right Unkon is correct.
Oh, I said I was going to say Oka. But anyway.
Let's ask Miriam.
Let's go.
Miriam, please, before we go, we have to go. How do you say one in Yoruba? Come and say it to the mic.
Come. We can't hear you. Oh, so who said Oko? That was
me.
Was actually closer.
I went to school. It's okay. All right, on that note, goodbye and have a great week. I know it's not Unkon.